My husband and I have had a dream of one day going into our subscribers' homes and helping them transform their spaces to increase function and spark excitement as we make over their rooms. We recently were able to go into Jeff and Lisa's home and completely transform their kitchen and dining room, and this video includes the full process of our first room rescue makeover. Now, we all love a good HGTV show with all the bells and whistles, taking down walls, adding in square footage, and all the things. But we wanted to do things a bit differently. We want to make our home makeovers budget friendly, and we also want our DIYs to be realistic for the average family. So we stuck to a budget of $1,000 for a full kitchen and dining room makeover. We shared the process from start to finish. We got creative with our DIYs and budget, and this is how it went. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. We just pulled up to Lisa and Jeff's house where we are going to be doing season 1, episode 1 of Room Rescue.
It's officially here. We are here in front of their house.
So we're gonna head on inside and we'll introduce you guys. Hi.
Hello.
We're Jeff and Lisa.
We are so sorry. We have been married for 40 years, and we've been in the ministry for 40 years, and we've lived in this area around Phoenix for 20 years. And we are looking forward to doing some refreshing of our kitchen area. We love where we live, but it's time for some changes.
And we have 2 children, adult children and their families who live in this area, 6 wonderful little grandchildren, and when they all come out to our house, they all gather in this kitchen, and it's time to make it a little more functional.
Perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
awesome.
Perfect.
And it was recording the whole time, so we're actually already done.
Oh. Tricked us. When you said we're going to need another week, I'm like,
Oh,
Yeah, she was a little.
well, because I'm assuming you're going to want me to empty the cabinets, and I'm like,
no.
no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Around all
God
that.
bless you.
We want to make this as easy and, chill as possible. So, we will do something to the cabinets, but we'll just take the doors off.
Okay.
And no worries.
Okay.
If there's anything.
They're really.
Well, and I'm happy to do that.
yeah.
I just
Oh, yeah, she was,
assumed.
yeah.
No reason to, though.
No.
We're not
Okay.
doing an organizing video, so.
They're like the
That's a
easiest
whole other
folks
thing,
to,
right?
Yeah, get along with.
Any
Yeah.
struggles that you've felt in here? I know you mentioned it gets really hot in here.
It gets really warm in here.
Yeah.
Circulation.
Yeah.
I think just, fresh set of eyes on this space, because with us, we might see it one way, but we feel like this space, even though it's small, could be utilized better just by having some different eyes on it to say, hey, why don't we reconfigure this or put this here, whatever. And I know I'm looking for that because, as Lisa said, we do a lot of entertaining here. I feel like maybe the space that we have, it's not so much that we add space, but we just utilize the space we have better.
And we're the first owners of this house. We've been in here for 20 years. And I've mentioned it has still the builder's white paint on it. I've just been overwhelmed at the thought of trying to do it myself, being busy in ministry and with all the grands and no. And I don't even see it anymore. Right. So now I'm so excited at the thought of there's going to be color in here.
adding color to the space is going to be nice.
Yeah.
Another thing I know you had mentioned, maybe a little more storage.
Always.
We could always use that.
Always more storage.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anyone who doesn't need more storage?
Any added storage would be awesome. Yeah.
We'll take it.
We have a lot of different ideas for your space. You want to have at least 8 seats, right, in the kitchen?
If possible. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
You have all of your kids and grandkids coming over.
Yeah.
Okay.
How's your worktop space? Like when you're cooking or prepping food?
It's minimal.
Okay.
In fact, even when we're trying to fix our own lunches or I come out to
The
start.
two of us are bumping into each other.
And for some reason, we always go to that corner right there. I guess because the stove's right there and the sink. And so we're like, okay, well, I was going to stand there, but I'll wait,
One of us has to yield, don't we? Yeah.
So, yeah, we could always use a little bit more.
So we want it to be a place that, 1, represents you guys, and 2, it's just something that makes you really happy when you come in. We want you to come in here later on in 2 weeks and just smile and just we want it to be a place that you want to be. So will you kind of share how you hope to explain your home after we're done? And then also any colors you're loving, any styles you're loving, anything you're not loving or not, you know, like I hope they don't paint my wall black.
Well,
Well, I think the blues and the grays.
You know, when we first moved here, I thought I would go with all of the desert colors, and that's great. I just really love blues and grays and lighter or muted, if that makes sense. And I just would love for us to be able to feel like people feel right at home as soon as they walk in. That's about the people inside, but also make this such a comfortable space. Like right now, if we have people over for dinner, okay, this is the means to an end, and then let's go to the living room.
yeah.
So this would,
Instead
I'd
of
love for this
hanging
to
out.
feel more like a hangout place. I'd love for this to be the place that I drink my coffee in the mornings because it's the place I want to be.
That's what I'm looking forward to, is having this space here in our kitchen and dining area to where we spend more time here because of this. This is sort of, like you said, a place where we just sort of come in, get done what needs to be done, but then we go to another room of the house to sort of hang out and spend time, where it'd be nice if we utilize this space more.
yep. Oh, Lordy.
Sorry.
You guys are actually living what we
Welcome to our life.
Yeah.
I love everything that's happening.
When we have like 8 here, it's strategic who we put in the back. Because if you got to go back and get seconds or a refill on your drink, we have to ask the person who's sitting here to do it. Because by the time they navigate, it's too.
You put a young in here so they can go get it.
That's it.
I guess there is always a crawling under the table, you know. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys feel you want to add?
I know the curtains, I don't want anything heavy, which is why I went with the valances in here, but obviously the red, not anymore. But even if it was sheer or something like that, I don't want a heavy curtain. Okay. And obviously being street level, we need privacy here.
Yeah, we have people that walk up and down all the time.
Well, they even walk across our property to get to theirs, which is fine, but hi.
Okay, perfect. I'm kind of the same way in areas like not a bedroom or anything.
Yes.
Like I love having sheers.
Yes.
Something very linen, like see-through, very light and airy. Would you be opposed to like actual full curtains?
No.
No.
I just didn't want it to be heavy and then darken, because I did do that once. I'm like, I hate this, you know, just darken the rooms too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like the cabinets are dated.
Yeah, they're definitely dated.
You know, so just a refresh.
Perfect. So I kind of have made a list. I know one of the things, like you said, is the workspace. So we were thinking to add an island. You're like, yay. Yeah.
I think I told you, I've thought about it multiple times and I just scare myself out of it, so.
I feel like because your kitchen is really square space, it's perfect. It's not worth like crowding everything.
Right.
But I think you'll have enough room where you could get like a good sized island in here. And it's going to give you storage, give you workspace. And we actually found one already.
Yay!
So I'm happy to hear that you're like, okay,
Yes, I'm excited about
Good, because it's in our garage right now.
Found it a while ago.
Yeah.
Now I was going to try to convince you, no, you really did.
No, I really do want to. I really do.
Okay, so let's talk cabinets. So you had said you feel like these are pretty dated.
Yeah.
And I would agree they're just kind of like the builder grade
Right.
oak cabinets that like every home has. I'm sure our cabinets were that same way before they were painted. Do you like white cabinets, white kitchens, or do you like wood cabinets? Do you like colored cabinets?
I'm open to anything.
Okay.
If you even wanted to stain them a different color, that's fine too. I'm truly open. I have to say, even though I have it in another room in my house, I'm not a huge green fan.
Okay.
And we talked, I'm not a gold fixture fan.
Right.
But, those are the only two that I'm like, please don't. But
Yeah.
other than that, really, it's okay.
Okay.
Just not really dark, obviously, but.
Do you like the idea of maybe doing like the bottoms and the tops different so you have kind of like that
Sure. We could do that.
You do?
I love that idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I've thought about that. The island could be a different pop of color.
Right.
I mean, anything.
That's kind of, I'm like kind of going between some different ideas.
Right.
If we were to paint, I would definitely use Beyond Paint. So one downside to Beyond Paint is they only have like a set number of colors. You can mix them yourself,
Yeah.
but then it's hard to
match.
So with that, I haven't mixed them in the past, but I would test it all out, and I've seen it done, so I know it can be done. And I could do something like that, and what I would do is I would over mix what we need and give you a lot of extra, so that if you need a touch up here and there, things like that. And Beyond Paint is so easy to do. Like if you get a scratch on it or something, and you never see it again. It's so easy.
That's a great idea.
And after 30 days, it fully cures, and then it's really, really good.
Oh.
That's a good option. With that, are you interested in any kind of like taupe or tan or like color like that, or
Sure.
would you be more into white?
No, actually nothing else is white in the house.
Okay.
I have more beiges and tans. Again, I might want it to be on the lighter side in here just because I want it to be brighter in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, taupes and tans I have that throughout the house.
Do you want to be really surprised, or do you want us to tell you all the things?
Surprised.
I was like, if I had to say, I want to be surprised.
I think I do too.
We truly trust you guys
Yes.
and your judgment. And
For sure.
We would love to just put it in your hands and be surprised.
Okay, perfect.
I appreciate having the input.
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Surprise.
And I love having the input
Yeah.
to the preferences and not, but it's like, no, this is your baby.
Well,
I
at
was-
the end of the day, we're gonna leave, and this will be.
I get
filmed,
that.
So
I get that.
I do love having your input on everything to make sure that it's not like my kitchen.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
You've got me so excited. I think I want to like sleep here.
You'll be in the way.
No dining table, just put a bed.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
If we do white cabinets, I would not want to do white walls.
Agreed.
You don't want it to feel washed out. You want
Yes.
it to still feel warm. And if we did restaining or a different color, then white actually would be nice because it would still keep it light and airy.
Right. Here's a vision. Light gray walls with, I don't know if you're going to do backsplash, but maybe a bluish, if that works, something, pop of blue that way.
Yeah.
But again, I don't want it to clash with
That's
whatever
true.
the cabinets end
Don't
up
want
being.
too much blue. Maybe some blue.
I don't think I want all the walls to be
That's
blue.
true.
That's kind of my thought, was to do we can do pops of blue, but not to overdo it.
Yes.
I agree.
Keep your neutral keep your backdrop very neutral.
Yes.
Should we share what we're thinking for this room?
Nope.
I agree with that.
Okay.
Honestly, this surprise is going to be great.
That's the best part. Yeah, don't give it away.
I know previously you had photos and things like
I did,
that.
yeah.
Is that something you guys typically
I
have?
do typically.
And is
do
that something you feel like you'll continue?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I tried to clean it off once before, and here, did you put this
I
on?
was going to say,
Of course it's going on.
The grandchildren have expectations.
Yeah, they do.
that their
And
things
then,
will be
there's
okay.
my pictures.
They'd be her feelings. What?
Yeah.
Where did all my stuff go?
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing when you do that is it does look very cluttered and it's part of your kitchen. And so it's kind of, I've had that same feeling I want to put up their stuff, but I also don't want to put it here. So something random that I've done is inside cabinet doors, I have a ton of artwork.
Oh, nice.
So every time we open a cabinet, it's
Yeah.
oh, that's when Luke was 5. Oh, that's when Liam was 6. That was when Noah was, whatever. Something to kind of be displayed is I thought this area right here is very unused.
Right.
And it can't, you have your garage door. This goes out to the garage, right?
Yes.
You have your garage door right here. And so you can't put, shelves or
Of
anything
course.
really
Yeah.
functional there. And so I kind of thought to do something here where we could actually display
I love that.
That's a great
their
idea.
art, and it would look very intentional
Yes.
as opposed to cluttered.
Yes.
It could still be just as cluttered. It'll
I know
look
what you mean,
intentional.
but it's
yeah.
the assigned space for said clutter.
I will say one of the problems with putting all the artwork and stuff on there is every time sometimes you go to get it, it falls on the floor
Right.
and you have to,
Yeah. I think the only other thing I really want to talk about, because we'll keep some things a surprise, I had a thought to kind of extend this coffee bar and kind of make it like its own little moment. You're saying you guys want to have coffee and enjoy your space. I will maybe show you a few pictures and kind of get your ideas on a few pieces that I'm looking at. And you said you are good with full curtains.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is actually going to make the space feel a lot larger. So it'll bring your eye up, and I think you can kind of extend them out, and so it'll just make the window feel bigger. It'll feel brighter.
Okay.
Giving away too much already.
It's just zip it.
I like hearing the intention behind, you know.
Yeah.
Are you open or interested in black furniture? Everything will be very.
He's Mr. Black. Let her finish.
You are open to it or opposed to it?
Open.
Oh, okay. With being on a budget, we're finding a lot of things secondhand, things like that. This, the coffee bar sideboard kind of area, we are definitely going to get secondhand because that can get very pricey and kind of blow the budget.
Yes.
But with that, I most likely will have to refinish it myself. We could do a white or we could do maybe a color, but I want it to be something that can kind of stay with you. So if after a while I don't love blue anymore.
I know what you mean, yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I'm not going to refinish that, you know?
Yes.
I really want to keep it light and airy in here, but I think if we keep everything else kind of light and we have a few, you know, grounding pieces and a few like black accents here and there.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I trust you. I can't say that's something I would think, like black and light and airy, but
Yeah.
I trust you.
Okay.
So if you think that's going to work, then
It would just be though, like again,
more of a focal point.
Yes.
And then depending on what the light fixture looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to just have one black piece.
Yeah.
And then everything else is so bright and then
Yes.
it looks very out of place.
Yeah.
So anytime you can repeat those colors with those metals, those tones, those wood pieces, then it all of a sudden kind of looks cohesive.
Okay.
So a lot of times this piece is separate
Oh,
from
yeah.
your counter, and so you can actually just pry it up
Oh,
and you
right.
do a backsplash.
But it's not, is it?
I know, that's one of the things on our list was to check. I will keep looking, but typically I found it doesn't look the best if you have this little
Plus then the other.
countersplash and then
Gotcha.
you add a backsplash.
Gotcha.
And if you want to even look at things like, oh, you know, this one has a countersplash and a backsplash and it looks great, send it my way.
It may also be that I'm so used to seeing the difference between the white and that if there's a color there,
Right.
it might not be.
well, and then framing out the window is going to make a big.
Well, that would probably cut down on this space too.
Oh, yeah,
wouldn't
for
it?
sure.
Yeah.
So that might not be near the
I
big
think
deal.
that'll actually take care of it.
Do you have any questions or thoughts on any of that?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds wonderful.
Okay, one thing that we talked to them about, actually, I think it was off camera, right? Was specifically they've mentioned how it's hot in this space. And they actually, I guess, when they moved in, they wanted a fan and kind of got talked out of it in the kitchen. And so she was like, I'm just curious, are we getting a fan in here? So we are going to do our best to get them a fan. Originally, we kind of thought maybe like a little sitting fan somewhere, a floor fan, but we can do a fan up here. We were already going to change out this light fixture. However, this is going to be the focal point because your view right here is pretty much your view when you come into the kitchen. And so that's absolutely going to be a focal point, and we don't really want to make the fan, a ceiling fan, the focal point, but they have chandeliers. Actually, I feel like over the last few years have really come a long way in their look. So they look like a really nice light fixture, but they have a fan inside. So that's going to be able to like kind of move the air around. So that is...
Try to just keep getting this in your way.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna do. But now that we've kind of gone over things with them a little bit more in depth, we just need to take a lot of measurements.
So here's 19
So that's
inches.
actually what they have.
It's a little bigger.
Yeah.
Something a little more substantial to anchor the room would be
I
nice.
feel like if we could do something like 24
Yeah, so this would be 24.
at least, that's what I would really like.
That's 24.
I
yeah.
feel like that would be much better. Honestly, you could go larger, but I think that would be good.
Yeah, I agree. Something that.
So cute, you have like a big one, I have my little one.
Mommy and Daddy.
So you're not including the tape measure?
No, not including the measure, just the yellow. Actually, it's perfect.
I think so too. That'll be so nice. And we can even pull it this way because this won't be right here.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
We can move that around. But yeah, so you still have probably 30 feet of walkway.
On both sides? Oh yeah, thank you, setting up. Okay.
We didn't fully measure at home one of the pieces
Surprise,
because
surprise.
one, we a little bit forgot, and two, it's just a hard thing to kind of measure without having it in the space. So we are going to use this piece as a placeholder kind of to kind of give us a better measurement and idea of what we can actually do in this space. This is kind of our new idea. It'll be a lot lower, so it'll look less,
Substantial.
yeah, full.
Yeah.
But this is, I do like that this still hangs over, even though it's not centered, but it's still gonna be in the room. And if we kind of can create like a whole mood over here, it'll be a lot more functional and it'll still look like one coordinating piece. All right, we got all our measurements and everything, and actually I think we're about to head out. We're kind of going back and forth. Should we paint the cabinets or should we try to stain them? I know staining can be a little bit tricky, especially, you know, if it's like a veneer, things like that. But I saw this. It's called Brie Wax. Just when I was looking up like different options for refinishing your cabinets, if it's a laminate like this or something, it's going to just not absorb as much. So you might have to do more coats to make it as dark. And it comes in different shades. This one's dark brown, so we'll see if we like that. But I don't want to plan on anything until I see how her cabinet specifically is going to take this. We're gonna open it up. It's melted a little bit in the car, so hopefully it'll be okay. We kind of tried to stick it in the fridge. It's a little sloshy still, but we're gonna put it on the inside of one of her cabinets just to test it out because we are going to do something to her cabinets. We're either gonna paint them, stain them, something.
Oh yeah, you can test that.
Oh yeah.
I just use the outside. Woohoo, that's
That is
strong.
strong. I did get permission to do this first. I like hate doing this, but
All right, now it's done.
that looks like it goes a long way, actually. And it looks like you can kind of lighten it as you go. Because this is a little bit of a different one up here.
I think it definitely works in darkening the wood grain, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just leaning towards paint, though.
Are you?
Yeah, I think so.
Or we can always do like, you know, white tops and like bottoms like this or something too.
That's true.
Because I kind of like the idea of breaking it up. We'll kind of see. Does it look like builder grade? Or does it kind of change? Obviously that's a piece we just need to take off.
I don't know if it's as dramatic of a transition as I would like.
Yeah, and you can, I think, put different coats to like darken it.
I mean, it is nice, but I just don't know if it's the transition I'm looking for. Yeah, so here's after, before. Improvement for sure.
Yeah. It's a new day, so I'm actually getting ready to start flipping some furniture. I have some more sitting in the garage. I didn't want to say too much while we were at their house just because we talked with them and we're like, do you want this to be a surprise? And they're both like, yes. They want to know, but they're also like, we would love a surprise. That's so cool. So that's kind of what we're gonna do. They know the gist of things. They know some ideas. I obviously have talked to her a lot about her input. I want this to be a space that they are going to love. This is their forever home, so they're gonna be living in this kitchen for, you know, years and years to come. So I want it to be really functional for them, more functional than it is now. And I also want it to be a space that they will want to hang out in. So I'm really, really excited. But with that, because we are not just doing a kitchen or just doing a dining room, we're doing kind of the whole like eat-in kitchen dining area. We are having to stretch the budget, and that means I have to put in some extra work on flipping things because we can't just go buy everything new for sure. And I also can't buy a lot of things on Facebook Marketplace that are not needing a little TLC. Sometimes you get lucky, but not always, and we're also on a time crunch. So Kyle literally drove a couple hours to go get this table because it's a dining nook table. It's gonna kind of be pushed into the corner, which will give more space. And it was a really, really good deal, including like the driving and the gas and everything. It was still such a better deal than I could find anywhere else. And I like that it was kind of more neutral, but I need to change up the wood. And also it kind of has a little scuffs. It's not in the best shape cosmetically, but I can definitely get it there. So we have to work on that. That's like my biggest project today. I was gonna say favorite, but I don't know about that. It's the one I'm like most dreading and most excited about because I think the transformation will be awesome, but it's going to be a lot of work. And we're in the middle of a Phoenix summer, so it's like 100 and something degrees outside. Thankfully, I'm in the shade, but we'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, I wanted to tell you guys a few other things that we're going to be working on. So I did get her an island, which would be perfect because she's like, I would love some more workspace. I'm gonna see if I can not have to mess with the top of it just because I do want to make sure that it kind of maintains that food grade safety. I know I can always do that, but it would just be nice to not have to, so we'll see. But right now it's kind of like a bamboo butcher block kind of thing, but I am gonna paint the leg, so I don't know if I'll get to that today or not. But then I also got some stools over here, which would be awesome. They can just tuck into the island or they can be put in another room until they need them or their garage or something. So I want to redo the stools, but that will go for the island. And then I think that might be my biggest thing. I'm still looking for a sideboard or dresser or table or something to basically create like a nice little coffee bar moment for them in their dining room, because right now they just have that tiny little cabinet, and she said coffee is a big deal to them. So definitely adding more storage, adding some more visual focus in there, and just, yeah, making it a little moment, something a little bit more special will be awesome. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight that I didn't quite share all the details of while we were at Lisa and Jeff's house, but I hope you guys loved meeting them. They are seriously so incredible. They are such great people, and we have just loved getting to know them more and more as the process has gone on, because we've been talking a lot more before sharing with you guys, but we feel so grateful to be doing this with them and for them, especially as like our first room rescue, because we're still learning, you know, how this whole process is going to go, doing this for people that before this were strangers to us. And we are just so incredibly grateful because they have been just, I don't know, they've just been incredible. So anyway, you guys are going to see this video over on the This Crazy Life channel, I believe on Monday. Yeah, you should see it Monday. So you guys will get to see how this all turns out. I really hope it turns out good, because we're kind of banking on it at this point. We stretched our budget so thin, and we're doing the most with what we have, and it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be tight. It's gonna be a lot of work. But anyway, thanks so much for hanging out, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are working on flipping some furniture for our first ever episode of Room Rescue, which is where we are going to someone's house here in the Phoenix, Arizona Valley, and we are going to be giving one of their rooms a complete makeover. In this case, it is their kitchen and dining area. It's kind of like an eat-in kitchen. I shared more about that over on the vlog last week, so I'll link that one up here and also down below. But we are on a tight budget for this because we're doing the 2 rooms, and so we are definitely having to stretch our budget pretty thin. That means I need to make the most of our money. Usually that means we need to flip furniture and DIY some things, so that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. So we are gonna be starting out with this dining nook area bench thing. I have the rest of it actually in the garage, but I need to sand it down, and I'm thinking I wanna kind of make it like a lighter wood. She really loves like that really cozy, warm kind of farmhouse style, and so I want to give that to her, but she also said don't make it dated, so I'm gonna do everything I can to kind of keep it modern and keep it a little bit more current, but also give her that style that she's really wanting. So I'm really excited. We're also going to be working on the kitchen island that I got, again secondhand, but I'm thinking to do something pretty fun with that one. And then these stools I also need to flip. We have a lot to get done today. I'm probably going to go into tomorrow. Actually, I'm positive I'll end up going into tomorrow, but it'll be fun and it'll be really neat to see these pieces completely transformed. So let's get to it. I wanna hear you say The other thing about the table is Kyle needs to spend a little time stabilizing it a little bit, because a few pieces are like a bit wobbly and like the screws just need to be kind of retightened. So hopefully that's mostly all it is, maybe a few new bolts. He needs to kind of do that before I can actually start sanding things down. So he's gonna start working on that and we'll start pulling everything out.
So the good news is that this works. The bad news is that we're definitely missing some pieces, because this used to be, there must be a brace or a piece of wood that used to go here to hold the weight of this on both sides. And the only thing holding this seat in place, this little tiny black screw, it's like part way put in. There's one there, and there's one there, and that's it. That's holding this whole thing up.
Because this piece actually comes off completely, the middle seat.
Yeah, it comes off. So we're gonna have to take some 2x4 or something and, you know, make braces that go here. And then these used to attach to something. What do
I
you
wonder
think?
if those attach. No, those couldn't attach to
What
the
do you think
brace.
these are for?
I don't know. All right, we just got back actually from running a few errands. Kyle got the bits that he needs to put together the table. He's feeling very confident that he can get it done. The sun is just moving in. So we're actually gonna end up, once he stabilizes the table, we're gonna move it to the back. That's where I think I'm gonna sand because that'll be more shaded. But really exciting news, we got a table that we're going to use like as a sideboard. I got 2 different options because the guy that we bought them from, he was so kind and ended up giving us a really good deal on both of them. We'll obviously only use one, but the other one is so versatile that I'll be able to use it in another makeover at some point. So that is super exciting. And then I found the most beautiful, it's actually like an antique mirror. He said that they've had it in their last 3 or 4 houses, but they're moving and it's so pretty. And then I was like, well, we'll go ahead and take that. And he just gave it to us. So super kind. I'm really excited. That's like such a relief to know that we got that piece, and we did it on a budget. It cost, for the 2 tables, it was $60, and we'll only end up using one of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, let me show you what Kyle is doing now. Yeah, this is the side leg, and this is like the brace.
Yeah, there's threads inside of here, and the problem is the threads fell out of this one, so the screw has no place to go.
It has
And
nothing to like bite onto.
nothing to bite onto. So we got this. We got to widen this hole a little bit, and then you screw this down inside, so it'll be, you know, down inside like that, and then it'll give a place for the screw to grab onto. The part is, this is pretty thin out here, so I don't know if we're gonna break this or not. I don't know, a little risky maybe.
All right, I'm gonna start sanding, but it turns out Kyle's gonna need to go get a different piece. That one that we found at Ace just was not the right size. So to stabilize the table, he's gonna run to Home Depot and hopefully if we can find something that works. But until then, I'm gonna start sanding because I have a lot to sand and we're like already kind of deep in the day. 112 right now.
Woof, it's hot.
Yeah, okay. I'm still a little undecided on exactly what I want to do. If I want to paint part of the table, if I want to sand the whole thing, which would look pretty, but I'm not sure how doable it'll be just with all that we have to get done. But I do know that the tops need to be sanded. Actually, I think the whole bench needs to be sanded. So I think at minimum, I'm going to sand the entire bench and the entire table because there's just some wear on the bottom especially, and then also on the tabletop. So I'm going to start out with probably some 60 grit sandpaper, and then to finish it up we'll do 220. That's just typically the grits that I go for. I hate sanding big projects. Mostly it's not bad unless if there's like a lot of grooves, and this one has a decent amount of grooves, so we'll see how it goes, but nothing else to do but start. All right, time to wipe this off. I got the whole top sanded, so time to wipe it off and see if I missed any spots. So we got the top sand coat all done. I will need to do something in the crevices, so I'll probably just have to like hand sand in the crevices up here, but that's fine. And then Kyle just got back.
Yep, so here's the sleeve with the threads in it.
Oh, you found one that
Yep.
works? Okay.
I think this will work. And you twist her in. There we go.
So I don't know if I'm going to sand this fully or if I'm going to want to paint it, but either way, I need to like at least scuff sand it because it looks like maybe a dog had chewed up some of the legs, and so I need to like refinish that a bit. So I'm adding my 60 grit sandpaper on here, and now we'll just get to work. Okay, my new favorite tool for sanding is an air compressor. It's so random, but it blows so much of that super fine sanding dust out of all those little nooks and crannies and small crevices. It's absolutely not necessary, but if you have one already, or you see one at the thrift store, you see one at your local garage sale sometime, pick it up, pull it out, and use it when you're sanding on your next project. It makes it so much easier, and you just don't have to spend your time wiping everything away near as much. You do still have to wipe it away somehow, but it just cuts the time down a lot. By the way, how gorgeous is the natural color of this wood? I'm just loving this. All right, we got a lot done. Not enough, but we got a lot done. The tops are sanded, and I spent some time actually looking just to understand more what her style is and what I want to do with these tables, or with the table and bench, like the whole with all the pieces. And I think I figured it out. I'm gonna solidify my ideas and my plan on that tonight, and then tomorrow we're gonna jump back into the table. The only thing left I have to do as far as sanding goes, because I think gonna paint the base of everything, so I need to sand the seats of the bench, like the outer corner bench. And then I need to sand just to kind of soften the bottom of the legs. And then the only other thing is just down in these grooves. You can kind of see like it's dark right there still because my sander couldn't quite get in there. I'm gonna see if I can use Kyle's little Dremel. If not, then I'll just hand sand it, but there's really not a ton of that. And then we should be good. I am gonna stain the tops, so I have to get that done too. I have a lot of running and a lot of planning and all that kind of stuff tonight, but as far as getting things done, I'm just about there. So we will pick up with you in the morning. Good morning, it's a new day. We're moving on to a different project. I don't want to sand more than I need, and I don't want to start painting or staining or anything until I have like the whole idea. And I thought I had it figured out last night, and then I woke up this morning and I was like, no, that won't work. I want to do something different. And so I'm just going all over the place with my ideas. So if you're stumped in one thing, see if you could move on to something else and then kind of go from there. These are the legs to the island. The tabletop, like I said, is just kind of like a butcher block, a light butcher block, but she really loves like a grayish blue color, and she's like, I would love to see that incorporated somehow, but she doesn't want like blue cabinets. She doesn't want a ton of blue stuff, you know. She wants it to be just like little pops here and there and have her base be pretty neutral, which I love. So when we were at the store the other day, I picked up this color. It's satin slate blue, but I thought this is like the prettiest. I don't know if yeah, it's pretty good on camera. It's like a really pretty light gray blue. We're definitely gonna keep the butcher block wood, but the legs I want to paint, and I thought that would be the perfect addition of blue. It's in the kitchen, you know, it's kind of part of all of it, but it's just light. It's still really airy. It's not like heavily blue or anything. And so I'm gonna go ahead, wipe these down, clean these up, and then start spray painting them, and then I can get the island actually put together and kind of start to piece these things together so that we can see where we want to land with everything. I also have the bar stools, so at this point I don't know if I want to stain them, I don't know if I want to paint them. I don't think I'm gonna do blue on those. And then I'm also even going back and forth of like, do I want light wood? Do I want dark wood? My mind is so all over the place, and every time I sit down to work it out, it's like I just get different ideas, and then I'm more confused than when I started. So there's a lot of different pieces, and a lot of pieces that I'm having to refinish. And when there's so much to get done, like it's almost easier if you have a piece that's like, oh, it's this color, so let's deal with that. But when you have all the different options on the table for you, it's a little tricky. So anyway, let's start cleaning these up and getting them painted. This is our front door bench that we realized the birds are what have been breaking it. Like there's pieces, they've been taking it and sealing it and using it to make their nest. Do you see this huge hole? This is from the birds. I hope their nests are very nice because they've been completely destroying our bench. So now it's like, for now it's a workbench because it's not gonna support people. I love this spray paint because it can cover just about everything. It can go on metal, which is what this is. It can go on wood, it can go on plastics, and it has a really, really good durable coverage. And it's a paint and primer in one. So hot outside, oh my gosh. We are going to go ahead and put these on. They're actually dry already, but basically these are just the braces to the top piece of the island. This is the bottom piece of the island, so it's like a top and then a bottom shelf. And so the top looks just like this, but a little bigger. So we're gonna have the blue and then the light wood top and bottom. Good morning, it is a new day. Right now we have the island completely done. The bar stools that are gonna go for the island, which is exciting. It's gonna give them 3 to 4 more chairs or more seats. Those need to be painted. We are gonna paint those black, so we'll do that with Beyond Paint later today. All of the seats and tabletop and all that stuff is all sanded, so I am gonna have to stain that today and poly that. Oh, and then I need to paint the outer bench and the legs of the table and everything. So that's what we're gonna work on right now. I am still going to have to work on the like sideboard coffee station table area, but honestly that's just gonna have to be another day because I just realistically don't think I could get it all done today. So I feel like there are certain things that are always in. They're just kind of classics. I think anytime you go with a natural material, so anytime you have a stone, anytime you have different metals, anytime you have wood, you are going to be pretty good. Also, anytime you have a neutral color. So like black furniture, for example, was out for like, 10 years or something, and it's starting to come back in. During the time that it was out, it wasn't like, wow, that's really dated. It was just not trending. You know what I mean? I'm not scared of white cabinets, but I kind of want to do something a little bit different. Whatever I do on the cabinets, I want to do to the table because it's the way it kind of goes in a line. I think it'll kind of make that nook area look a little bit more built in, a little bit more custom. She really loves gray and kind of like that more farmhousey look, but I feel like Pebble, although it's a beautiful color, I feel like it's going to be too dark because she also wants it to feel light and airy. So I am going to try, for the very first time ever, you are witnessing Beyond Paint being mixed by me. Not that anyone else hasn't, just I haven't ever mixed it before. I think I'm gonna make her a half gallon, which I know sounds kind of crazy to paint an entire kitchen and an entire like outer part of a table, but it just goes so far that I think it'll be okay. We are going to be mixing bright white with Pebble, and I think to start I'm gonna do a 1-to-1 ratio. We're gonna do it really like to the dot. I want to mix it. So I have my little food scale here. I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna set this on there and I'm gonna zero it out. Also, one thing that's cool about this is just from Ace Hardware, but if you want to do like a 1-to-1 ratio or 2-to-1 ratio, whatever, it has a little grid for you. So I'm gonna go to the 2 on here, but then I'll measure out exactly. One really nice thing about living in Phoenix during the summer is things dry outside so quickly. So we'll set this in the sun, let it dry, and then I'll be able to tell. But honestly, I'm just already loving this so much. It's so pretty. It's such a gorgeous color. I might make a bit extra of this, and then if I have leftover, I know I'll use it for something because it's such a beautiful color. At least right now it is. So we'll let this dry and come back in a few minutes. All right, this dried. It is the prettiest color. You can never see it fully on camera. This is also only one coat, so it would just build on this. But look at that coverage too. The on paint's so good. So this is a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts white to 1 part pebble. It's perfect. It's like the prettiest taupey grayish color, but it's very light. And then I think I'll do the walls white, so it'll just keep it so light and airy. We'll have black accents and blue accents. It's gonna be so pretty. Kyle just ran and got an actual paint can, which would be nice because then we can actually store it in this. It's not gonna go bad or anything. This was just from Home Depot. Kyle just said this would be a good test because this is actually gonna be the color we're gonna use on the wall. Like,
So white wall, gray cabinets.
they're not like full gray though, but
Well,
yeah.
with this TCL gray,
The
TCL
gray.
gray cabinets. The top of the table is going to be wood
Yeah.
right, with
I'm
some-
thinking lighter.
with some black accents. So there's your, I mean, that's your color palette right there, basically.
Yeah.
I like it.
How it looks, plus the touch of blue.
And a touch of blue. Light and airy is what we're going
Yeah, for sure. Light
Looks
and
light
airy.
and airy, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And we might darken, like it'll probably be, we'll see. It might be a little darker than this wood. We'll kind of see, but
But I like
that'll
it.
be pretty.
If you look at it as a general palette, I think it looks really good.
All right, I want to show you guys before we bring the outer benches inside. Kyle did fix the brace for the middle seat, so I'm gonna have him kind of explain what he did.
We have new spring hinges we're going to put on it too for storage. Those ones are shot.
Because like when you pull it up, they don't really stay up. So he just ordered, what was it, like $10?
They were
for a
$10, I
set?
think. That's so
Yeah.
when you lift up the lid, it'll stay up.
Yeah.
And you can actually put storage under there. The fix for this was pretty straightforward. The problem was that there was no support for this bench underneath it. So you just do two 2x4s, screw them into the side of the bench. Fits just like that. And then we had an issue with it sliding backwards. So we put 2 little screws here to keep it from sliding backwards. And look at that, sturdy bench.
And before, if you remember, there was just like a few black screws kind of holding the weight of this, which obviously was not gonna work.
They were
at
like
all.
this big, yeah.
They're tiny.
Yeah, and there were only 3. There was one here, and one back here. So this is all
Yeah.
unsupported, but
So now this will be sturdy and nice for their family.
good to go.
Okay, so I've shared all about Beyond Paint in the past, but Beyond Paint is amazing. It's like my go-to furniture paint because one, it has great coverage. So you need to do like 2 coats. You can do a third if you just want to be a little extra. Usually I do that, but like 2 coats and you're good. It is very thick. So that's why you get this such a good coverage. You do not have to sand. You do not have to strip your wood. You do not have to prep it in any way other than to just clean it. Make sure that you're starting with a clean surface, and then it gives you such a professional finish. So the technique to apply Beyond Paint is you just want to go in the crevices and stipple. So you never want to take your brush and actually stroke with your brush. You just want to stipple in those edges. Okay, so you're gonna stipple along all those edges. You can just kind of work in smaller areas, but it's so forgiving too. And I'll say it holds up really, really well. It will, I think, like partial cure or something within 24 hours. It full cures in 30 days, but don't feel like because it's not fully cured, you have to just be so careful with your product. We just treat it as normal during those first 30 days and it works out perfect. If you have not tried Beyond Paint, try it out. Once you stipple in the corners, then you're going to roll everything else that you possibly can. And that's going to give a really, really nice texture. You want to use a 3/8 inch nap roller, and then it just, I don't know, it just kind of does the work for you. You just roll it. This is going to be such a beautiful color. Okay, if you are subscribed to my channel and you've seen my makeovers in the past, you know that I've painted with Beyond Paint all over our home. I've done kitchen cabinets, bathroom cabinets, furniture. It is on the more expensive side, but trust me, this stuff just stretches so crazy far that you're going to get so many projects out of it. And you don't even need a whole gallon if you're going to be doing just like one project. I probably used about a total of 1 quart on her kitchen cabinets and this dining nook. Like, it just goes so far. We have most of the bench painted. I'm not gonna paint the inside, at least I don't think so. Now I am gonna paint the back. There is a chance that I'm going to paint these pieces, but I don't wanna start with painting them. I wanna paint it and then see how it goes. See if I want to, see if I need to, but once you paint it, it's painted. So I'm gonna start by painting around those and then we'll kind of go from there. So random, but I just recently finished another audiobook and I'm curious if you guys have any new audiobook suggestions or podcasts. I've shared in the past, but typically I do kind of like self-help books, just anything that kind of can make me feel like I'm learning something, and not necessarily novels, although those are fun too. But if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Especially after getting my new Shocks earbuds a few months back, I have been listening to so much more because they don't fall out of my ears and I can still be present with everyone around me. So I feel like I've just been going through a lot more audiobooks and a lot more podcasts lately. Alright, this is 2 coats and a touch-up coat on like the fronts and any areas that needed it. Now we're gonna peel this back and see. We'll have a little cleanup there. We'll see if we just want to paint over this or if we like it. My little table, I feel all official. We have a few different options. So now that's all painted. It is looking light, but also our bedroom specifically in like the earlier parts of the day before the sun starts going down, it has really good lighting. So often it can make things feel very bright. So I'm wondering if there not going to be actually as light as they're looking right now, but they are still pretty light. But I was thinking maybe I'll use this natural. It's just like a really natural tone. I don't want to do full raw wood just because I don't think that's the vibe and like the look that we're going for. But I thought maybe we'll do natural. I have a little collection in the garage so I can just pull from what I have. And then we have like a darker one. I don't want to do really dark, but I do have some left of Early American, which I kind of feel is like your baseline stain. You kind of can't go wrong with Early American, but I do think it's going to not darken the space. It'll still let it be light and airy, but I'm feeling like this one is actually going to be the one we'll go with because it is going to pull that depth into the room and just kind of ground the space, and I think it'll be a good contrast. So I think that's what we're gonna do. Also, this is a water-based stain. I love staining with water-based because one, it dries faster, it doesn't smell as bad. I feel like it's easier to work with, but you do have to work faster. But also I feel like if you don't really know what you're doing or you haven't stained a lot, I feel like you can get a better end product with an oil-based stain, but it's just more work. So we're gonna do the water-based today. Okay, I feel like that's it. That'll be good. I hate this part. Do you like that? I feel like it just like brings the richness out, but it's still a light color.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay. It's not orange at all, which is not what I want. Actually, I wonder if we won't even need much of that because look at this with the sponge.
I was just looking at that, like there's nothing to even
No.
light.
If you take nothing else away from this video, take this as a sign to start using a staining sponge on your next staining project. I swear it cuts the work of staining in half at least. It just goes on so smooth and you don't have to spend time like staining and then wiping. It's amazing. This is the big actual bench. It looks good. Good thing I thought to move my stain because my stain was on top. Yikes. All right, we got all the pieces stained. It looks so good. I love this. I think the color is gonna be perfect. It's like deep enough to add some contrast. My hands are awful because I forgot to wear gloves. It's gonna add a lot of contrast, but it's not gonna be so dark to make it feel heavy. So I can't wait to get this put together. Oh my gosh, what a difference this made. We were honestly feeling very concerned about this table when Kyle and Luke brought it home from a few hours away because they had to go all the way almost to Vegas to pick this up, but it was just in the budget and it fit our needs, and then it just needed a lot more work than we realized. But I'm so thankful that I wasn't actually there to pick it up because maybe I would have passed on it. We were able to flip this piece and turn it into something so beautiful and so functional for their family. I'm so excited to put this into their dining room area next week. But let me know, what are your thoughts on this? Were you feeling a little nervous about this piece, and would you have done anything differently with it? Now, moving on to a few days later, we actually went and got some fence boards, which I know everyone's going to be like rolling your eyes at fence boards. I feel like fence boards are one of the most underutilized pieces of wood in the hardware store. And on the surface, I can absolutely understand that because they're very rough, they're not beautiful, they're not the best cuts of wood. But if you can give them a little love, spend a little time sanding them, they can turn out so beautifully. So we measured everything out, we got them home. Kyle cut off the little top picket pieces to make just a straight edge board, and then I sanded them down again with the 60 grit to get all the roughness off, and then the 220 grit on top of that to make them smooth as butter. They looked so amazing when I was done, and these boards are going to be used actually to create window trim around their windows. This is going to completely change the look of their windows and completely elevate it, and because we are using fence boards, we are spending about $2.50 a board as opposed to $10 a board. So a huge, massive savings there, and we're going to be able to trim out both windows for like around $40, I think, instead of several $100s. So anyway, we do have one more prep vlog going up on our Kyle and Amanda vlog channel later on this week. I will add that to the playlist down in the description box, so you can go ahead and check that out once that video is released. And then make sure that you get subscribed to both the Kyle and Amanda channel and this channel as well. Next Monday, we are going to be sharing the full, complete, from start to finish kitchen makeover at Jeff and Lisa's house, and I cannot wait to share that with you guys. We are completely transforming their space from top to bottom, and it's going to be incredible. And I believe we're going to end up coming in under budget, so stay tuned for all the tips and tricks that we'll share then. Also, I did want to shout out again, if you live in the Phoenix area and you have a space or a room that needs rescuing, go ahead and send an email to roomrescue@pagestudios.net. I'll have all of that information down below, because as soon as we're done with this makeover, we are going to be on the lookout for our next room rescue makeover. So that absolutely could be you. But as always, thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys. Welcome back to the vlog. So this whole week we have been focusing on room rescue. We're flipping a lot of pieces. Today I actually want to go gather some pieces that we need from like thrift stores, things like that, because we are on a budget. One of the things that I want to focus on today was actually something I wanted to do earlier in the week. We just didn't have time, but I want to refinish this coffee bar thing. It's actually like an entryway table, but we're going to use it as a coffee bar. Originally I was thinking to do like a dresser or something of that sorts, but because of the way the dining room is, it's just a little bit more narrow, that we needed something not quite as deep from the wall as a dresser. So that's why we got this. We got it for, well, we got two of these pieces right here, both for $60, so basically $30 each, from the nicest guy. He was so kind, from Basic Marketplace. Originally, I actually wanted to use this piece just because it has the drawers and I kind of like the style of it a little more, but it's just too narrow right here, which was kind of my concern when we were getting it. But I was like, well, we'll get it, we can use it for something else for sure. And it's so nice. It does need to be refinished, but he said he found it online and it's selling for like $2,500, and we got it for 30 bucks. So pretty good deal, right? Now this one he actually made himself. He was like, the legs themselves each were $50, and then all the wood, so that was another steal, but it's super nicely made. He said he used to do woodworking and things, but this one, although it is a little bit more simple, it has just a deeper depth, so we'll be able to fit the coffee maker and all that kind of stuff on there that we want to. And I just feel like the footprint on that one is going to be better. However, I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of like a turquoise mint green color, and then gray, and then black stripes. And it's just not what we're going for in this space. So I'm gonna try some new stuff. Okay, so I can feel there is no poly or anything on this. So I might end up doing like a quick scuff sand, but I'm just gonna kind of test some areas out. I want to actually use this gel stain, and everything in the area is like mostly very light and airy and bright, but we want to bring in some dark accents like black, because we have like some dark metals, things like that, little aspects of that here and there. And so I kind of want to tie that into the space. but I don't want it to feel super heavy. So I love that this piece, you know, has an open bottom. We'll add in some baskets in the bottom for storage, but we're gonna see actually just if this will look good. The black gel stain. Gel stain's really unique because it's actually not like a soaking stain. It doesn't soak deep into the wood or anything. It kind of just goes along the top. So with that, gel stain can be very forgiving, and it also can be like less preparatory work, at least in my experience. Whereas like if I were doing a regular stain, I would need to sand this all the way down to raw wood. And I'm just not sure that I have the time or the patience for that anymore, because I've spent days of my week sanding. So I'm gonna try this gel stain, and if it works, great. And if it doesn't, then we'll probably just opt for Beyond Paint, because I already have that on hand too. But you don't know if you don't try. So let's break this bad boy open, clean it off, sand it a little bit, and then we'll be good to go. Yeah, we'll see how this works. I know this is painted like different colors, but I'm wondering if it'll give kind of a cool effect with the gel stain, but still like not show the colors anymore since I opted for black. But like I said, this is just a trial, and worst case, I'll just paint it with Beyond Paint and we'll be good. So let's kind of scuff sand this up a little. This little air compressor, or I guess not little, but this air compressor that Kyle has become like one of my favorite tools. Like, it's helped so much with getting the dust off when I'm sanding. I still wipe it off, but this gets a majority of like 95% off. So that if I get it all, if I get stained on myself, you won't even notice. But I did want to share, yesterday I used this sanding pad, and I feel like I've used them before, but I can't remember, but it works so good. Like, you don't even have to wipe things off at the end. You see how thick that is? Also, gel is really nice to work with because it kind of stays wet because it doesn't seep in. So I feel like you have more time to kind of work it in. You can layer it. It's just, I like gel a lot. So far it's doing exactly what I was hoping it would, which is perfect.
Is that gel?
Yeah, I barely scuff sanded, and I didn't do anything to the legs, but it's not a poly.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, and it's like kind of see-through, but not a lot.
No, I dig it.
And you can't even tell, but it's just like a little bit lighter weight of like than a paint.
That is so weird.
Yeah, and look like how easy, and this sponge is like,
Yeah,
I'll never sand another way again.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if maybe I didn't, because I feel like I never would have thought anything else anymore.
Holy cow, that looks great.
I know, and it's just like, literally, I only started doing this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah?
Baby.
I'm sure there's a more elegant solution to this, but that's what I ended up going with.
So this is one of the bar stools. This is that cabinet I was showing you earlier, but this is one of the bar stools, and she had told me when I bought them, I got all four for $20 on Facebook Marketplace, and this piece right here is just like snap down the middle.
Yeah, I can show you. See it just, well, I kind of put that other bracket, but
yeah.
What's nice about where it broke though is I was thinking that it broke here, in which you'd have to glue it and then it would be a whole pane, but since it broke on the inside.
Yeah, so it's still attached to this brace.
It's still attached to the legs, so if you can put some brackets in here that keep this from shifting, it should.
And this can help brace it too.
It should shore it up, yeah, pretty good. So I just got two of these brackets. I'm gonna put one right there, one right there.
Perfect.
screw the two pieces together, and I'm guessing it'll be good.
Yeah.
And then if we really wanted, there's going to be a slight seam here.
Uh-huh.
So if you were going for perfection, then you could just fill that with wood putty and sand it. But
Yeah.
since we're going to paint it anyway, I don't think we should even bother.
I
The
wonder,
paint will just probably fill that in.
I'm curious if we should try doing the gel stain on this. It might be just as easy and cheaper.
Well, I mean, you can. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either
we'll
way.
see. I feel like especially working outside and my hair like being like this, it's kind of reminding me of the Monica episode when she goes
it's
to
hot.
Florida and it's like, have you seen that one?
No.
And her hair's like out here.
No, I haven't,
And
I
it
haven't
goes
seen any of
kind
those.
Yeah, Kyle's not a Friends guy,
No.
but I
I
was.
hate Friends. Don't like Friends at all. I'm not talking about the TV show.
So unfriendly. Oh yeah. So we really needed just 2 bar stools, but she's just saying like, you know, they always have their family and the grandkids and everything over. So I'm like, if we could get the 4 to work, then they can just keep the 2 in the kitchen and store the other 2 like in their guest room or in their garage or something and pull them out anytime they need them, and they can file around or kind of cozy up around the island, which works perfect. So that's the only reason we're really trying to fix this.
Yeah, this
Just
will
so that
just
we
be
can get the
extra.
extra stools.
Yeah, it'll be extra anyway, so I think this will work. I think this will work just fine.
I think so too.
I just gotta get my... It's kind of hard to get it straight with this. Look at all the wobble that's in that.
No.
It's a bit of an art.
Like the world's longest drill. This lamp I actually got for $5 and I put a shade on it. Oh no, that's the shade that it came with actually. No, I bought the shade. I've thrifted those. Yeah, so that was like $10 total. I was like, wait, I'm trying to remember. So we might put that on the sideboard.
It is so hot.
It is so hot.
It's 102 right now, and it's gonna be 112 today.
I know, it's been like that all week.
I know.
Great week to be prepping outside.
I know, it's like heat wave week, record hot temperatures. Like, okay, we're working outside all week, which is perfect timing.
Kyle takes the spray paint can off and like fake puts it on the wet table. I was like, oh, no.
I'm a goof.
So unfriendly.
So unfriendly of me. I'm the most unfriendly.
All right, while you're spray painting, tell people why are you so good at spray painting?
I don't know. I was just born with it, I guess.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it's because you like painted like your planes growing up.
I don't think,
Did you not tell me that? I just must have made that
I
up
don't
in my
think
mind.
so.
Because
I
you
don't
look
know
like
why
you
I'm-
have such a like technique about it, and I'm like, oh, that looks like a plane model. Because Kyle used to fly.
I did.
What are they?
RC planes. I did build and fly a lot of those, but
But they're big. Like, show how big they are. They're not like when you say that, I feel like people think a little tiny.
Well, we had different ones. You know, the average one maybe was like this long,
Yeah.
like this wide, but we had some big ones. I mean, like
Yeah.
from me to you,
Yeah.
or bigger. They had like weed eater engines in them. They were
Like
big.
big remote
But
controls.
mostly they were kind of smaller.
Oh.
But no, that was like a shrink wrap you put on those, and it was
Oh,
colored.
okay.
And you'd wrap it and then use a heat gun
Oh.
and shrink wrap that. But I don't know how I got so good at spray paint.
Well, I just always like when I watch you, I feel like, oh, that must be from your airplane model days.
I don't think so.
I must have just had that in my mind.
I wish I had a cool story. We should make one up though.
Well, mine's good. You can have mine.
Maybe I'm good at spray painting because I'm so bad at other painting.
Everyone has to be good at one kind of painting.
I am not good at other painting, like wall painting. That's why in all the videos you do basically all the painting.
Yeah.
Me and paint, we're not friends.
We used to have Kyle. Like Kyle used to help with painting, and then I was like, I've got it.
It's just easier.
It like slows down the process. I have to
does.
refix some work. That was looking good though.
Is it?
Yeah.
Good.
I think that'll be nice. It'll just tie in the black. But it's like the pieces that we have that are black are not heavy pieces or dominant, you know?
I think it'll look great.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just sitting down. I'm gonna make a plan. I actually I want to run to the thrift store and hopefully I can find some things that I'm needing. Okay, these are my notebooks. Do you see this? I went to Dollar Tree last night with the kids and I just got this simple notebook. It doesn't really match any of my other notebooks. It was $1, obviously. I thought it was kind of pretty. It has like some cactus and flowers and stuff. My plan with this is to move all of this information. Obviously it's not all of this, but it's like I have a first or second or third page on each of these with information for this room rescue. And then like I'm looking through it, I'm like, where is that? Oh yeah, it's in my other notebook. Where did that go? And so yeah, because I will just like randomly find a notebook and start writing things down. So I need to go through these and see what exactly I have left that I need to gather. I know I need like a curtain rod. I still need to find cabinet pulls. I did order some. They were on a crazy random Amazon sale I found when I was searching the other night. Normally like $30 or something, and they were on sale for $7. So I can either return them or they'll be like my backups. I don't remember how they were, but I remember it wasn't like the exact ones I would want, but they were so affordable that I was like, all right, I'll try those. We can either save them for another day or another project, or we can use them as a backup, or we can just use them. Maybe they'll come here today and I'll love them. I also want to get like a pin board because on her kitchen fridge, when we had gone there the first time, it was just covered with like pictures of her grandkids and drawings and things like that from her grandkids, which is perfect. And I know she wants to display all that, but when you have it on your fridge, it looks cluttered and it looks messy. So I wanted to give her a space where she would be able to display those items, but in a way that would look more intentional. And so when you open the garage door, which is kind of into the kitchen, you guys like my little gel manicure? It's DIY. When you open the garage door, which is right in the kitchen, right behind there, you don't obviously have room for furniture. You can't really add shelves there. Like there's no room for extra storage of any sorts there because the door has to open and close. However, we can put a pin board there, a really nice good size one or a couple of them, and then I'll be able to like put up her grandkids' photos and you know, any kind of special paper memorabilia that she has that she wants to display. But when it's on the pin board, it's going to look like, wow, that was really cute. That's intentional, as opposed to the fridge being covered with everything, which I know everybody has that same struggle. So I want to look for that. I got these, I have more colors, but they're like erasable colored pens, and it's been so helpful. Like I have like my calendar here, and there's just like all these different colors, so immediately I can look at it and see, you know, oh, orange, what is that about? What is, I don't know, it's just random, but I love it. And I got them just from Walmart. So if you're a planner like me and want something that's still able to be shifted and adjusted but also colored, there you go. So random. I was just grabbing my pencil and I saw that and wanted to share. Okay, so we got the bar stools, we got the island. I have the cabinet paint. We actually made that like a custom Beyond Paint color in the last video on This Crazy Life. I'm still looking for the cabinet hardware. I've been kind of playing around with the idea of a backsplash, but I don't know because we're not doing a new countertop or anything, and their countertop is connected to the counter splash, which is just that little tiny like 3 to 4 inch tall backsplash counter piece. And typically I feel like it doesn't look the best when you have that and then you add your own backsplash, but I might still look for peel and stick and just see how it goes. Actually, I might even have some, so we'll see that. I did get curtains. We do have this coffee bar. I ordered a dining light. I'm really excited to show you guys. I'll show you that, I don't know, whenever it gets here. I don't know if it'll be today or tomorrow. It's large, so I'm curious to see if it's gonna be too large. We'll see. But if it works, it's gonna be so good. And I feel like people always go smaller than they can. People often will grab for like a smaller rug than they actually need for their space, but if they just embrace the size and get something larger, it's going to have so much more of an impact. I feel like you can do that with lights too, so we'll see how the light turns out. So I need cabinet hardware, I need a curtain rod, I have the pendant over the sink, always looking for like little tiny like greenery and touches like that. I think that's mostly what I need, so let me write down. So this is what I'm saying, like I'm like looking on this list, double checking this list, seeing this one, and then I'm writing it down. So I just need one notebook to rule them all. I'll make my list exact and then we'll head out to the thrift store. How much is this, Liam? Does there a tag on it? $8.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay, so another option if we need is we can maybe get a frame and put our own like pin board in it if I can't find a good size or good priced pin board. But those are always easy to find at different thrift stores. Yeah. These are cool. These are just neat little dishes.
A ton of antiques.
These are kind of like the perfect color for her. You do?
Yes. But my room is in paradise. But that's not just that. But because I just saw so many, so it looks like they weren't too rare.
I want to put a mirror like above the dining space, but I actually got a different one that was even cheaper that's black frame, so I think that'll work.
There you go. It has drawers on both sides.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Would it match the theme in there? Is it too? Because it's pretty like.
It is kind of rustic.
It's pretty modern in that room. Would this be too rustic?
I don't know. I don't know if it's super modern in there, but it's so sweet. Every time we come in, she goes, especially if Liam's here, she's like, you want to play a game of golf? They're so sweet here. They're up like North Phoenix area, but if you live in the area, definitely come check out their consignment store. They have such good deals and they have tons and tons, especially furniture, but we found some different things here for sure. And I love this place.
I'm feeling good. Getting better. Feeling good. I can't let it go. I'm feeling good. 'Cause I never say never. 'Cause I find my place where I'm always feeling good.
Hey guys, welcome to the very first ever room rescue episode. We are here at Lisa and Jeff's house and we are going to be completely transforming their entire kitchen as well as their dining room. We have been working on this for the last several weeks, pretty much the last month on and off. We have so much planned for this space. You're not gonna recognize it when we're done, but we are going to be painting. We have a ton of furniture that we're going to be adding in. We've done a lot of DIY projects. We just have so much. We're going to be adding a lot of functions, some storage, and we're going to just be updating their space and making it a space that they really love and want to come spend more time in. We have shared several vlogs over on our vlog channel, so you can go ahead and check those out. I'll link them down below as well as up above. We have a lot to get done, so let's go ahead and jump into it.
Rise up like a shot, shine up like a shining star.
If this is the first video that you are seeing on this, basically just to kind of recap things, we are in one of our subscribers' homes, and in some of the previous videos that I kind of mentioned, we introduced you to Lisa and Jeff, and in that video they shared the struggles that they've had in their space, and it's just honestly been so amazing to get to know them over the last month or so. So Lisa and Jeff put in $500, and then Kyle and I matched it with our own $500, and with that $1,000 budget, we were able to completely transform the space, and I'll tell you at the end what we came in at, but we actually did come in under budget. All right, so we are gonna keep this like a full-on surprise for them, or at least as surprising as we can. So we brought a tension rod and a curtain, and we're just gonna put it up in this entryway area to keep the secret going a little longer. Okay, one of the things that they had mentioned when we were first coming into their home was that it gets very hot in this space. We're trying to see if we're able to add a chandelier in here, but we don't want it to be too large. So we're like right on the cusp of that. So before we do anything else, I'm gonna have Kyle lift it up and see if it's like way too big and we need to return it, or if we can go forward with it. Fancy white gloves to match. You get your white gloves again.
Look at this, look at the size of these. These are my fancy white gloves to use. Think those are gonna fit?
Yes, for sure.
Should I try? There we go.
There we go.
Now I can handle it.
Fancy.
Look how short the fingers are.
It's like a huge gap. Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and go for it. She specifically doesn't like gold, and actually in this case and with the space, I don't feel like it matches anyway. So we're gonna just tape off the inside of where the light bulbs are gonna go so that it still will work and everything. But then we're gonna take it outside and just spray paint those pieces, just a black.
The blue never been so clear. Psychedelic, maybe it's magic, maybe we're just high.
Oh my gosh, it's hot outside.
Yes. It's supposed to be 107, I think, today.
So we're kind of moving all around. Kyle's just starting to drill the cabinet knobs and everything because we are going to be painting the cabinets. But before we do that, we do want to drill all the holes. That way we don't nick up the paint or anything when it's kind of freshly painted. But we'll get those all drilled, and then he'll start putting that up. And I'm gonna start doing something up here that's a little risky, we've never done before, but it should be amazing. So when you walk into the kitchen, there's kind of this little drop down part of the ceiling that separates the kitchen and the dining, or kitchen and eat-in kitchen, whatever you want to call it. Originally, I thought, how cool would it be to add a beam there? I thought that would be so amazing. I decided I'm gonna try to do a faux wood beam, but I'm gonna try to paint it. I know that sounds crazy, but if it doesn't work out, I can always just paint it back white. We're painting the walls anyway. You can do this on all different surfaces, and I'm sure you can do it on the drywall as well. So we are going to do a DIY painted faux beam, but we're using the Retica products. So this is the wood and primer, and this has actual wood in it. This will just paint on like regular paint, and then you get this gel stain alternative, and this just wipes across it. Now this is typically the base that you use for most of their products, and then this can come in different colors. So this is kind of like a middle tone brown. It's not really deep and it's not really light, so I think it's gonna match everything else perfectly that we've been staining, and it's going to still kind of keep things light and airy, but also add that contrast and that warmth into the space. right, we got the first coat of the wooden primer up, so I'm gonna do the second coat, and then once that dries, we'll be able to start doing that stain. All right, we are making progress. But now we have to decide what to do next because we have so many options that we could choose from. So much to do. I have the beam painted. I'm waiting for it to dry so that I can go ahead and add that wood graining. Kyle's gonna start putting the chandelier up.
Yep, so we've got the light, we've got
Yeah.
window trim, and we've got
Painting cabinets,
painting
painting walls.
cabinets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots to do.
That's what I'm gonna start doing right now is painting the walls. We either wanted to do white cabinets or white walls. I didn't end up going with white cabinets. So our walls are going to be white. This is the paint that we have found just works the best. It's Benjamin Moore Regal Select. This paint is more expensive than a lot of wall paints. However, I feel like it comes out about the same anyway because you use a lot less coat, because you'll see it's very, very thick. We went with the color White Dove. It's like a very warm, soft white, but it's not yellow at all. This is, I don't know what you call it, but I'll link it below. We used it a ton in our Utah home. But basically you have these little sponges on the bottom. They're replaceable. And then you just put that on. When you're loading it, you pull this piece up and you dip this in. Then you push this down and it has rollers and it just rolls along your edges, which is gonna save a lot of time not having to cut in everywhere. Now on camera, you can kind of see the difference between the previous wall color to the new paint that we're using, but in person, the difference was huge. Plus, the previous paint was just that builder grade chalky paint that the builders love to put on the walls, so it was absolutely impossible to clean. So never underestimate the power of adding in some new paint. I'm still kind of trimming things out, but Kyle has the chandelier built, so we're gonna turn off the light so we can actually connect it. Okay, go ahead. Nothing so far.
How's that one?
No. Oh, there it is. That's it.
Every time I see you, I'm caught up in the feeling. I get tunnel vision. Every time I see you, everything around you fades in.
Guess what? It's been only a few minutes for you, but it's been hours of fun for us. Kyle finally got the fan. He's just taking his sweet time.
Yeah, the fan box, or the box that was in there, was not a fan box. And normally you can just pull that one out and you stick a bar up and put a new one in pretty easy. It takes 10-15 minutes. But above this is tons of insulation and HVAC stuff and air conditioning vents. And so I had to climb in the attic, and it's way in the corner of the house. We finally got it, and here we are,
And
ready for the lift.
I did all the painting. I still need to go around the top and the bottom one more time, but I got 2 coats on and it's looking very nice. Anyway, all that to say, we're about to put the fan up. It's definitely a statement, but actually it's gonna be perfect because it's gonna create so much wind, or not wind, but whatever you call it.
Circulation, maybe?
Yeah, circulation. Circulate round and around.
Round, it's flow, it's circular.
Circulate.
Feel how much air that thing moves.
Oh wow, that's gonna be so nice for them. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and finish this up. So we have the base coat, I have 2 coats on, and now this is in the color Barnwood. So I'm just gonna take, you just wanna make sure it's like a very simple lint-free cloth to go ahead and apply this. You're just gonna wanna move in like really straight, continual movements, and that's going to create the graining. But I'm doing not the actual grading tool, I'm just doing more of like a modern grading.
Baby, I'm barely holding it together. Crash into me right now, turning me inside out.
So one thing that I did want to mention about the faux beam that I'm painting is you can actually build on the wood grain color. I have done this on our dresser in our home, and I've also done this on our coffee table. But what I did was I added on the first layer of that wood graining, and then I added on a second layer and I kind of worked that in. Now initially I really wasn't sure if this would work, but it's a more affordable option than adding on a true wood beam or even a faux wood beam. And it's also a lot less time consuming, but it's pretty risk-free because again, you are just painting, so you can always just paint over paint if you don't like it. But anyway, once I added on the base coat and then I did the first coat of wood graining, I ended up adding on one more additional coat of wood grain, and I just kind of blended that in until I liked the look. Also, I wanted to say this was my first time doing this, and I searched high and low on the internet to see if anyone else had done this and documented it, and I couldn't find anything. So this was just kind of a test for me. If I could go back, I think I would slightly sand the texture just a little bit, but overall I was so happy with how everything turned out. Alrighty, welcome to day 2. We did not get as much done as we were hoping, but we did get a lot done. It looks so good. I'm so happy with how the beam turned out, and the light, it's so pretty. So we have a good base. Today our focus is painting the cabinets. We already got those drilled yesterday. And then also Kyle is going to be adding some window trim because the windows are not trimmed out or anything. And then the other thing that I think we're gonna get done today is hanging up the curtains in the dining room. So really it's only a few things we'll get done today, but they're pretty big, pretty time consuming things. And then we're hoping, fingers crossed, we can work fast and finish up tomorrow. So wish us luck. All right, first things first, we're gonna start marking the cabinets. We just will basically do a 2-number system. So like I'll go 1, 1, 2, 2, and just continue on from there. And then 1 is going to go on the back of each door front or cabinet front or drawer front, and then 1 is going to go at the bottom of the cabinet. Let me show you. While Kyle is finishing taking all of the doors and cabinet fronts off, I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off of the beam up here, and then I'll have to paint the white around that. So I'm gonna get that done real quick while he finishes up here, and then I'll be able to just jump into the cabinets. All the cabinet fronts taken off. This is repainted on around the edging. And then these boards right here are actually going to be the window trim. These were literally fence boards. So these ones are just like, they're all 5 1/8. And then these ones are like the 6-inch ones, and these ones are 3 inches or somewhere around there. The night before we actually came here to start day 1, so like 2 nights ago, I spent a long time sanding. I sanded at 60 grit and then I sanded at 220 grit. You would not even know. These were literally like $2.50 each fence boards. So we're gonna be able to trim out these windows for like under $50. Kyle is not only going to put trim on the outside, but he's also gonna frame them on the inside. So that'll just really elevate the space. But he's gonna start working on that. I need to move these out to him, to the truck, and then I'm gonna start painting. So we just got that same paint, the Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. We didn't even tint this, it's just white. And we got it in semi-gloss because we want it to be really wipeable. And then to make it really quick and easy, I'm just gonna use one of these pads, that same pad that I used to trim out the edge. It'll just be a lot quicker and easier than painting with a paintbrush.
I like the highlight if you know what I mean. I can wear my pride on my sleeve. I can do things you only dream. I feel like the greatest thing. I'm sorry. just feeling myself. I'm just feeling myself. Don't know if you could tell.
All the sills are painted and everything, so Kyle's gonna start cutting and working on those. And then we're gonna start painting the cabinet fronts. What I like to do to make it easy to paint them is I just use these Solo cups. They're plastic. I've reused them for so many projects. So you just buy them once and then just store them in your closet or something. But I'll just set these on the ground and do that. So we are using Beyond Paint, but it's in a different container this time because we actually mixed a custom color. So this one is 2 parts bright white to 1 part pebble. Basically, I wanted to do something that's not white, but I still want to keep it nice and light and airy. And I also wanted to add in a little bit of that gray tone without being full gray on, because she does love the grays and blues and things like that. So I'm gonna shake this up, and I just over mix this so that if she needs to do touch-ups over time, she can still go ahead and do that, and she'll have plenty of paint because this will go really, really far. If you're new here or you haven't seen me use Beyond Paint in the past, it's hands down the best paint for furniture, cabinets, all that stuff. There is no sanding, no priming. So you wipe them down, make sure there's no like residue or anything on them, but that's all there is to Beyond Paint. It's so, so simple. And like I said, this is actually a custom color. It's 2 of my most used. It's white and pebble. Pebble is so pretty, but it is a little bit dark for this space, so this will be perfect. There is a different technique to Beyond Paint, so you don't want to use a paintbrush to do strokes or anything. You're just going to stipple in the edges, then you're gonna roll everything else that you possibly can. And you want to use a 3/8 inch nap roller. That's going to give you the best coverage. I typically will do 2 coats of this, and then if you want, you can do a clear sealer coat on it. I typically don't, just because I kind of like that flat look, but you can do that if you like. Also, just a warning, the first coat will look rough. The second coat, I call it the magic coat because it'll be looking real rough and then it'll look so good.
I belong in the movies, right next to Clooney. What's up with all these sad boys? I feel bad, boy, that you a sad boy, cause I be letting up like gasoline. So let the good times rain on me. I'm just feeling myself. I'm just feeling myself. Don't know if you could tell, yeah, but I'm just feeling myself.
Okay, so I have the first coat on all the cabinet doors. I do still have to do the drawers, but I'll do those in a bit. But this is that magic coat that I was talking about. Have a little faith, it'll be amazing. You'll be so impressed by this. Beyond Paint stretches so far. I used the first gallon on 5 or 6 big projects, like multiple bathrooms, like we used it in Montana, on different kitchens of those apartment makeovers. I'll link those videos up in the iCards. It's just amazing. This stuff is so thick and it just lasts and lasts. Beyond Paint is self-leveling, so it just dries so beautifully. It ends up looking like professional finish, and it has just a little bit of texture that gives it that professional finish look. Seriously, if you have not tried Beyond Paint, it's so good. And it comes in a bunch of different colors. And now this is our first time actually mixing the paint to basically create our own custom color. The only thing is you want to make sure that you mix it enough so that later on you can add touch-ups, things like that, and you don't run out mid-project. Because since you are mixing it yourself and not a computer that perfectly does it, you're gonna have some variation in that. So as I'm sure you could see in the background, Kyle started working on the window frames while I was painting the kitchen cabinets. It was nice. We were able to kind of double team some different projects and get a lot done on this day. But we did keep the window frames a very relaxed farmhouse vibe. That's kind of the style that she had been drawn to. And so with that, we did a thicker header and footer on top and bottom. And then we extended the window ledge. And then Kyle just went through and caulked all the seams and nail holes. And then the next day, we gave him a new coat of paint. And the window ledges added so much to the windows. The reason that I ended up wanting to do this is because I didn't really want a heavy curtain or anything above the kitchen sink, but I still wanted to make that window look really finished. And so that's what kind of led me to wanting to frame out the windows. And then of course we wanted to match the other one. So that's how that idea came to be. right, Kyle is finishing up the window, reinstalling that. I'm gonna do the final coat on all of the cabinets, and then he will probably start working on what do you say, like repainting the
Putting the
doors.
hinges back on and hanging them back.
We're finally done painting. Knock on wood, we didn't miss anything. I'm sure we'll find it if we did.
All the hinges are
All the
on.
hinges are on, and we're just about to hang them up, and then will we just do handles tomorrow?
Yeah, this will be it for today.
We'll just get the cabinets up. Hey guys, welcome back to the third and final day. We are actually gonna wrap up a lot today. The last few days it's been like these huge projects like painting and just all this stuff that takes forever. But now we have the most beautiful blank slate behind us. Everything's nice and neutral, everything's really light and airy. And now we're going to be bringing in furniture, decor pieces, those accents that are really gonna kind of tie the room together, make it really functional, and I can't wait. So the first thing I'm gonna do is actually head outside. We got home so late last night that we just didn't end up getting this board stained. Kyle's putting on the handles onto all the cabinets. We have still a lot to get done, as you can see. But I think we can do it all today because today is not gonna be as much heavy lifting as the last few days have been. I wanted to show you guys really quick just the different options that we got. So for the cabinets, we got these ones, and I just liked them that they were so simple. And although they're not actually a set, there's ridges along here. So it almost looks like they're meant to be together, but they're actually two completely different brands and everything, but they'll work perfect.
In and out of love, never get enough. We never seem to get older. When things are going right, you seem to have the time. But when it's hard, you just grow cold up. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires. The words repeat, cause we're scared of the silence. We should be good, but we keep lighting fires, fires around ourselves. It's deja vu.
I did not bother to wear paint clothes, so I'm gonna be very careful, but I do need to just do a few touch-up areas on the windows, but it's just that same paint that we used on them yesterday.
We're gonna put a pendant here, but the problem is there's this big can in here where that used to be. And so you can buy these kits, which is a recessed light converter, and it puts a mount right here like a box essentially, and then you can hang pendants or whatever else.
I'll actually go grab that from the truck. I got two of them because I got them from Facebook Marketplace and she would only sell it as a set, which I totally get. But honestly, it's such a pretty and really just versatile light that we could use at another time anywhere. And it's so, so pretty. I can't wait to show you guys, but we got it for only $25. Such a good deal. One thing that I loved about this is, do you see how it has that texture on it? I think it's gonna be so pretty to kind of break up the squareness in here because it's nice and round, and it has the black to tie into like all the other little touches we added, but it's going to bring your eye right there. It's gonna give you a focal point, but it's also not gonna make it feel really heavy or distracting from anything around it. So I love like having that glass outside. It's just, I think this is gonna be so pretty. Okay, so we're about to put the curtain up. One of the easiest things you can do to make your space feel bigger is to extend your curtains. So I used to only do like maybe 10 to 12 inches outside, but you can go a little bit further if you want. And just depending on how far you go, you might want to double up on your curtains and make it look a little bit fuller. The other thing is go all the way to the ceiling. Take them all the way to the top, and having your curtains extend all the way to the ceiling is going to make the space feel a lot taller. And then also when you extend it out, it's not going to block any of the light, but it'll make the window itself actually feel a lot bigger. So we're gonna do that and watch the space just feel so much taller, actually so much brighter, because it'll kind of make the window feel a lot brighter too. Do you see how much bigger this space feels It immediately takes your eye up. It adds color, a pop of color, which is so perfect. And this is the color she wanted. But it also like kind of frames out the window, it frames out the new light, it brings your eye up, which I know you guys can't see it, but it brings your eye up to the beam up here. But now the only thing left is actually to start bringing in the new furniture and things will start taking shape.
Park up and let's drive, fall in love on the highway. That's the way you fall in love. You take a little picture of moments that unfold, but can't miss out the in-betweens. So just drive, fall in love on the highway.
Okay, so this piece we worked on last week. We shared it in a previous video, so I'll link that up here. But when we got it, it literally, you could push the table with one finger and it would wobble and sway. I don't remember if we couldn't attach the back, but we definitely couldn't sit on the seat because there were no braces for the seat. Like, there was so much wrong with this. Kyle did a lot to that. And then I completely changed the look by painting it and then sanding down all the tops and staining those a really pretty stain. This doesn't look the same at all, and it definitely doesn't function the same at all, but this is gonna be nice because it'll give them a lot more seating. It'll also give them storage, and it will kind of push into the side of the dining nook so that they can have more room over here for a coffee bar. I'm not trying to talk too loud so they can't hear me, but anyway, so Kyle's just assembling the little side station. I did just want to clarify something. So Jeff and Lisa had a table that seated 6, and they also had a leaf that you could add in that would give them 2 more seats for a total of 8. Now they did say that they really didn't want to lose the potential to have 8 seats in their kitchen. However, they really hated how cramped the large high top table made their dining room. So this dining nook table seats 6 comfortably, but we are also going to be adding in an island in the kitchen, and that is going to seat 4 to 6 more people. So now they're going to have at least 10 seat options, plus it is absolutely not crowded in here. And by the way, I just wanted to mention, we actually refinished this island. We got it for only $75 on Facebook Marketplace, and with just a few coats of blue spray paint on the legs, it turned out perfect. All right, we do have stools for the island, so we are going to bring those in just a little bit, but first, we're going back over to the coffee bar area. We're gonna put up the shelf. So the same shelf that I stained this morning is gonna go right up here, and it'll give more storage and also add a little more height and interest to the room. Okay, so to install the shelf, we are using these, I don't know if they're called L brackets, but it's a way to do like floating shelves without all the work of floating shelves, and they're
More like a 7.
just
No,
get a
that's
7
not.
bracket.
It's not.
You can get them in different lengths, so we just make sure that you order the length shorter than your board. These are 8-inch brackets because our board is 10 inches deep, and these I think come in a few different colors, but you can always paint them, which is what we did in our bedroom. It is up. We'll decorate that and get that all functional in just a bit. But first I wanted to add a mirror, like a full length mirror over here, but we're gonna do it sideways, and that will continue to kind of just make this space feel more open. It'll also pull black onto this side just to kind of balance out that space too. So this was only $50 from Walmart. So it was one of the new items we bought, which is kind of few and far between. It's actually a standing mirror if you want it to be, or you can hang it. Now to hang a mirror or something like that, any kind of frame really, you can use toothpaste, and you put the like a glob of toothpaste right on the hole, Then you level your piece and you push it up against the wall, and it works perfectly. Or if you're not a fan of toothpaste or you don't have any at your house, you can use these official toothpaste replacement things.
All right, so these are much better than toothpaste, obviously. They're spring loaded, so you take the screw and you put it right where you want your screw to be, and then you tighten it down, and we'll put one on either side, and then you pull this cap off. We'll hold the mirror up to the wall. Once you push it into the wall, it'll push this collar down and mark it with a black X right where you want it.
This is like the best tree, best bang for your buck. It's $40, I think, for 7 feet. You can get one that's like 6 feet, 5 feet, all different sizes, but it's such a good sized tree and super good deal. I chose these baskets because one, they were on clearance for $15 each at TJ Maxx, but two, they had a lid. This way, even though we weren't able to do like a dresser or anything for her, she's still able to get a lot of storage in her kitchen, which I feel like everyone wants. Okay, so one thing that we really wanted to do for them was create a little coffee moment for them. They say that's like a big part of their day, and typically they just come in, make their coffee, and then go out, and they're like, we would love to have this space be somewhere where we can actually enjoy our coffee and somewhere that we want to actually enjoy it. So I feel like we've created a beautiful space for them now, but I wanted to give them a special coffee bar space. And this actually didn't come out of the budget because we were able to team up with Walmart over on Instagram and give them a coffee bar with all the bells and whistles and all the extra stuff because of that. So I'm super excited to kind of put this together for them and create a little coffee bar moment. With their coffee bar station, I wanted to add in all the essentials to make it really functional, but I also wanted to add a few decorative touches on the top shelf to make it feel really inviting and warm. And so again, through Walmart, I was able to get them a brand new coffee maker, which does both K-cups and a full coffee pot, because before they actually had two separate machines that was taking up a lot of room. And then also I learned every single morning she would pull out her coffee grinder from underneath the sink, grind the coffee every day, and then put it back under. So now they have actual room to just keep that appliance up here on the table. And then I also was able to kind of display all of the useful items that they use every single day. And of course, everything, not only from the coffee bar, but just throughout the makeover that I can link, I will have linked down below in the description box, as well as over on my LTK. So you can always check out those places. But if you see something that you like that I didn't link, let me know in the comments and I'll let you know where I got it. Oh my gosh, these glasses are so nice. I got them from Walmart. It came in a pack of 6. It was $15 for the set of 6. They're by Oneida, and I got them because they're blue, but look how big and nice they are. One of the last things, aside from just little touches, little decor pieces here and there, was a place for them to display their pictures of their grandkids, kids, also like their grandkids' artwork. Before, they just had it all in the fridge, and although I totally get it, like you want to display that, you want to see that, it looks very cluttered. But I'm going to create a space that will actually look very intentional and still be able to display everything, but we're going to use this vertical space that's otherwise completely wasted because this is the garage door, so you can't put any furniture here or anything like that. So we're going to make it functional and pretty. Now I did choose black to, again, like kind of pull that black in here, and then the brown tones are going to pull in like the wood tones that we have around too. We're deciding if we're going to use this or not, but this is a lamp to go over in that area to create like kind of a little mood lighting in here.
The lighting would be nice, but I just
This
don't
is
know.
awesome, it's just so bright.
Yeah, I just don't know if it looked too busy. And that light is awesome, but it is bright.
This one's dimmable too.
Yeah, that might be nice.
So we'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
Anytime you put something on a tray, it's going to look more intentional. So we'll use this as a tray, but then it actually is a food grade charcuterie board. So if she wants to host a party or something, she's all set. I could absolutely not do a subscriber kitchen makeover and not include my absolute favorite kitchen towels of all time, Bloom towels. And of course, I chose one of the towels from my own collection that I designed with them, which, speaking of, we are currently working on a new fall collection right now, so stay tuned for that. They were wanting more seating in the space, and I actually have 2 more in the garage. So we're only gonna keep 2 in here, but let me show you the cool thing. When you need them, you pull them down, but when they're not in use, they can just tuck up underneath the island. And then it takes up no floor space, but you have plenty of room. You can at least seat definitely 4, probably more if you just wanna grab some more chairs. Now, if budget was not an obstacle, adding cabinets up to the ceiling is absolutely so gorgeous, but we were doing this on under $1,000 for everything, so instead of adding a bunch of new cabinetry, I just added in some greenery and a few decor items, and by doing that, we added in a lot of life and movement and warmth and interest up above the cabinets. We just have to clean things up. We'll show you how it turned out, and then we'll share the reveal with Jeff and Lisa. I can't wait to see what they think.
I can be anything, whatever you want me to be. It's a call to the ring. I'm throwing up my gloves and knees. My back against the ropes. I got nowhere to go. I'm looking down the slope. I gotta strike a blow. 'Cause practice makes perfect, you know. This struggle got purpose and we grow. So whatever role we have to take next, all I need to know is that we'll roll with the punches. We'll roll with the punches.
This space is completely transformed and I love it so much. So we started by painting all of the walls off-white. We added in new cabinet hardware along with a custom cabinet paint color. And then we continued that color into the dining room onto the dining nook table. And then of course I restained the tops of the dining nook to add some warmth as well as to tie into the shelf that we used above the coffee bar. And then on the coffee bar table itself, I added some black gel stain onto that, and it just added a lot of contrast and kind of grounded the light and airy space. And then we included all the functional and beautiful accessories to their little coffee bar moment. Now continuing on in the dining room, we added floor to ceiling curtains to make the entire room feel so much bigger and taller. We also changed out their outdated light fixture to a chandelier, which adds both function and a focal point. And we cannot forget that beautiful glass pendant that we added in above the kitchen sink. Another thing that brought your eye up in this space is the painted faux beam that creates both separation between the 2 rooms, but also kind of ties them together. And oh my gosh, that kitchen island just changed everything. It added a lot of counter space, and also it gives them an option for adding 4 to 6 more seats. And we did it without even squishing the kitchen up at all. Then we added in all the details like the window trim, the decorative touches, those pin boards that add personality and helps to keep their fridge clean. We have all those pops of blues and the greenery. Everything turned out so beautiful, so light and airy, which is just what they asked for. I just love how everything turned out in here.
amazing. I'm so excited.
Okay. You guys ready to see your
We're
new
ready.
kitchen?
We're ready. Oh my golly.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's not even the same
Oh
kitchen.
my golly. I love it.
It's gorgeous.
This is
you guys.
amazing. You all did.
This is
I
amazing.
can't even-
I can't even, it's not the same kitchen.
No.
This is so pretty.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm just
taking
taking it all
Yeah,
in.
this is like, I mean,
Oh, look up here.
Kyle
Oh,
and Amanda, you
the
all.
ceiling fan.
I
I just
know.
now know. You
Yeah.
guys, this is so pretty.
You all did not just refresh this space. You
You
reimagined
changed
it
it
for us. Yeah,
completely.
it's totally better than I could have ever.
Thank you so
Can
much.
we sleep here tonight? This is great.
Gorgeous. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. This is beyond my imagination.
It's completely changed.
It is colors that you chose too.
This-
Just love that.
Yes.
It's gonna be so much more comfortable out here and inviting.
Well, if you can't find me, you'll know the first place to
Well,
look.
like I said, I think we hang out here a lot more now. Yeah, you guys did.
There's stools to the, that
Yeah.
island is so
That's
pretty.
perfect.
The
Yeah.
perfect colors.
Well, just the colors
Yes.
themselves. Yeah.
That looks totally different, right?
I know. How did you do this in a couple days? I'm like,
And have the vision to get all of this in here. The cabinets are gorgeous.
Oh yeah, this is a custom color. So do you guys like?
Love it.
love it.
We continued it on the
Oh,
outside
yes.
of the bench and everything in the bottom of the table so that it kind of
Pulls
flows
through.
in.
I mean, all the little nuances and touches that you guys did, just amazing.
Oh, the light.
Yeah, you didn't even notice the
No, it's so much. I can't even see it all.
in.
I love every last bit of it.
I'm so happy you guys love it.
We do love it.
You,
Thank you.
well, yeah.
All right, so our grand total for this entire kitchen and dining room makeover cost us $930. I thrifted everything I could. I reused items. We got very creative with things, and I'm so thrilled that we were able to do this for them for such a low budget for this huge transformation. Now I would love to hear all your thoughts in the comments, and if you are not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for lots more content, including brand new room rescue makeovers coming soon.